city of Guadalajara provides the backdrop for the latest encounter of FIFA World Cup action, our final match of another busy day. We are in Group A as Mexico, one of the three hosts, take on the other Group A winner from match day one, South Korea, in what should be a very tasty affair. You look at the Estadio Guadalajara. I'm Seth Thieves. Thank you so much for being with us as we continue our coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And what a matchup we have in store here. Group A, inside track to winning Group A. That's what's on the line tonight as El Tri faces South Korea. You see the standings. Czechia and South Africa now on 1 point each. This after their thrilling draw in Atlanta earlier this afternoon. You see Canada looking good, and Switzerland with wins both winning today. And Canada, boy, how impressive were they as they put up 6 past Qatar as we get to the finish line of yet another World Cup day. There's your starting lineup for Mexico. Rangel, Gallardo, Vasquez, Alvarez, Sanchez, Gutierrez, Quiñones, the goal-scoring hero, and Raul Jimenez, the other goal-scoring hero from last Thursday. They get the start. You see South Korea among their notables include Min Jae Kim, the Bayern Munich defender, Pike Sung-ho, the Birmingham City man, and the captain from LAFC, Son Heung-min. So we are indeed ready to go. Hong Myung-bo is South Korea's coach, and on the flip side, you've got Javier Aguirre leading Mexico. And as you would imagine, a party-like atmosphere in Guadalajara. Mexico going with the black uniforms tonight. South Korea in the other kit. Haven't seen them come out yet. Let's see as they continue to show the Mexican huddle. Come on, give me a color. Come on, give me South Korea's colors. There you go, that purple, violet, fuchsia, whatever you want to call that. Looks like a purple look with flowers in the background. We'll go with that. Two of the teams that you would probably put outside of the top-tier contenders, but two teams that were the favorites to win this particular group. Two nations with plenty of World Cup pedigree and heritage, trying to do some damage in this tournament. Mexico and South Korea. So we're just about set to go, and it is South Korea who get us underway in the purple shirts, going from right to left as you listen. Mexico the opposite end, going from left to right, and here's South Korea working with the ball now. Now they'll try passing it to the back. South Korea coming from 2-1 down to defeat Czechia in the first group stage match, while Mexico, as mentioned, a 2-0 winner over South Korea, and that was probably a little unfair to Mexico. Really just bossed the entire game in that opener. But here's a long ball that Mexico has fallen asleep with here. And here is So Young-woo. So Young-woo looking for the ball, and he couldn't find it across. Was passed back to Lee Ji-hyuk. And a delayed offside from our referee. Our match official is Gustavo Tejera from Uruguay. Yeah, very delayed offside call. 79 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature, 51% humidity. The weather on the twos with Seth Eves, your World Cup weather on the twos. If only JT were here. Mexico on the left-hand side. And dispossessed by South Korea, but then how to play it goes as Quiñones was trying to attack. Thank you, World Feed, for showing us the live standings 90 seconds into this match. Mexico, with a win tonight, will advance to the round of 32 and will win Group A. So they'll be the first team to advance. If there is a winner, it's the group win for them, the group clinched, and a trip to the round of 32, the first country to say that they can do that. No team can be eliminated tonight. Of course, South Africa stayed alive with that impressive Draw against Czechia. Ball back out. Rangel has to play the role of sweeper, or Kim Sung-yu has to play the role of sweeper keeper, but it does work. And now here's So Young-woo. Been lively these first couple of minutes on that left-hand side for Korea Republic. Now gets it back over to Lee Ji-hyuk. Lee's little lob deflected away by Alvarado. He was back there trying to play defensive cover. He's an attacker. Javier Aguirre looking on. Trying to direct his team forward. As we are approaching 3 minutes in, Mexico and South Korea 0-0. Mexico in a World Cup for the 18th time in their nation's history as Sung-Yu Kim again boots it away. Twice they've made the quarterfinals, 1970, when they hosted it in 1986. Down goes Romo here. And Romo seems to be in a bit of trouble here, bit of stick, as it was Kang-in Lee who provided that challenge, and I think he's going to get a yellow card. So the first yellow card of the match, Edson Alvarez approves of the Uruguayan referee's decision. And Lee Kang-in is the first player booked on this Thursday evening in Guadalajara. And looks like they've already started the wave. On ball, Alvarez gets a touch. Back to Alvarado on the right-hand side for Mexico in the attacking half. Now it's back to Sanchez. Good little chip here. And then Sanchez pushed out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Korea Republic. South Korea in the World Cup for the 12th time in their history. Of course, famously or infamously, depending on who you ask, finished 4th place at the 2002 World Cup, which they co-hosted with Japan. Here's another ball through. Alvarez, now Quinones. Quinones trying to get out of trouble. Quinones still, decent slide challenge, but not decent enough. Quinones will lay off Alvarez. Now Quinones tried to play in Jimenez. Too many purple shirts back there to provide cover, though. Now it's Romo with it for Mexico. Back to Quinones. Quinones now to Romo. Low ball in. Tried to play it in towards Quinones, but it was cleared away by South Korea. They did a very, very good job. Mexico, though, trying to show their attacking intent on home soil. These teams have met plenty of times. Mexico's won 8. South Korea have won 4, and 3 times it's ended in a draw. Alvarez, Mexico, of course, famously winning in the 2018 World Cup back in Russia. Here's a shot, a low scuffer from Alvarado that is covered by Kim, by Sung-Yu with ease. So Mexico with it once again, as the goal kick didn't go very far. Mexico have it once again. Gallardo laying it off. On his layoff, here's a shot from distance and takes a bounce. And Kim Sun-yue again with a relatively easy save. So Mexico are getting chances, but they are just lacking that final finishing creativity in the first 7 minutes. There's Velma from Scooby-Doo. Ball bouncing all the way back to Rangel in goal. Now Mexico have it again here with Alvarado. Now it's Alvarez. Bring the pass back over to Rangel. Little chip here. Think there, and South Korea will have possession here with Lee Gi-hyuk. Half now on the right-hand side, South Korea. Mexico playing their 11th World Cup match. Interestingly enough, though, they're first in Guadalajara. This particular stadium, at least. It's a very interesting statistic. That's why you listen to Ultimate Sports Media, because you'll get nuggets like that. Here's Kim Min-jae passing it back. Now Lee Han-boom. Ball here, can he? The long diagonal ball. Can he get a man there? Can he again get set free? Could Seoul get there? He and Alvarado had a close race to it. It was last touched by South Korea, so it will be a goal kick for Mexico as Alvarado gave Seoul Young-woo a little push there. Need to make an amendment on something I said earlier. I said Velma. That's Velma from Scooby-Doo. Rest easy, Ned Jarrett. Here is Gutierrez. Alvarado. Cross blocked. Korea trying to get passes together. They're trying to play out that Mexico, though, putting a high press on. It's just not working for South Korea. Long ball, and Son's free. Keeper's way off his line, and it's going to get all the way to Rangel. Well, Son was set free, and the flag had stayed down, at least in that moment. And the LAFC, man, could have had a real chance to break some Mexican hearts here, but was not to be. Alvarez in the midfield. Long ball, and it's going to go all the way towards Sung-Yu Kim in the goal. We've played a little over 10 minutes of this Group A encounter. Mexico 0, South Korea 0. Our continuing coverage of the 2026 World Cup. Seth Ease with you here. Special shout out to Matthew Owens doing some producing tonight. I know it's the last thing he wants to do, but glad he's helping a brother out tonight. That is for sure. As yours truly's devices are being rather stupid. Here is Lee Gi-hyuk, and he gets deflected. He gets dispossessed. He loses the ball out of bounds. I thought he lost it. It actually came off of a Mexican black shirt last, so it's South Korea with it. Guadalajara Stadium, the backdrop for this one. Alvarez. Vasquez. Quinones trying to muscle away. Foul, free kick to Mexico, which will be just inside their attacking half. There's Mr. Villalobos, Mr. Grafstrom. Like that was Hugo Sanchez, the legendary Mexico goal scorer of years gone by, who, of course, did a lot of his damage playing for Real Madrid. Ball goes back to Kim Suing-gu. They're in the 13th minute. Still 0-0. South Korea with the pass. Mexico had both shots in the game. Neither shot had been on goal. Mexico 57%, South Korea 32%, and 11% in contest. Is trying to the ball through. Mexico have one possession one more time. Now it's Alvarez in the back. Mexico with possession just inside of their own half. Remember, tomorrow, the United States play their second group match in Seattle against Australia. It's yours from 2:45 Eastern, 3 o'clock kickoff right here on Ultimate Sports Media. The incomparable Matthew Owens will be on the call as the Americans try to advance to the round of 32 with a victory against Australia, coming off that impressive performance against Paraguay last Friday night. Mexico with possession here on the left-hand side. Here's Gallardo, and Gallardo is dispossessed. Cleared all the way back as far as Vasquez, but he's back at his own half. 14 and a half minutes gone. That's here. Foul. South Korea, Mexico win it back. And we get a foul. It's going to be a free kick for South Korea. Javier Aguirre not pleased with somebody or something. Use a Brian Anderson term. Something, somebody. Said that in the NCAA tournament a couple years ago. Son, he gets on the end of this. Son trying to chip the keeper. Oh, spectacular goal line clearance. Spectacular defending by Mexico. They were caught napping, and Son nearly had a lovely finish over the keeper. Boy, if you're Mexico, you can't be losing him. I think Son was offside anyway in the end, but in that moment, it was still another spectacular clearance by Edson Alvarez. Well, Korea Republic, they've gone forward. They've had their chances, that's for sure. Well, when they've gone forward, they have come pretty close. They've given warning signs, if anything. Son, 56 goals in 146 caps for his national team. Korea Republic trying to move forward to the right side and a foul, and no foul. It was a tackle. It was a little like a foul, but Mexico are able to continue on here. Here's a ball for So-Young Lu to chase. It goes out of play, and I ended up anyway. So 17 minutes gone, and Still 0-0 here between Mexico and South Korea. Here's another long ball for South Korea. Could Son get there? Not quite. Taking possession, now back to Son again. Good pass, but not good enough. Mexico with bodies in the way. $17.5 gone. Fouled a free kick to Mexico as Quinones was in an almighty struggle with Lee Han Boim. Mexico fans, a very passionate bunch. They showed it full display. They showed any World Cup they go to, but when they get a chance to show off home soil, you best believe they're going to do it. And they did so well with it in that opening match. Got to be careful here. Play the long ball back. So Young Woo. Little chip over the top here. Back it goes. Played again. South Korea with Kim Min Jae, and he has it in a bit of a uncomfortable position there. Make sure you don't have anybody from Mexico behind you, so it's still a goal on you. Ball continues to be played. Mexico have it once again just inside the opposition half. Now here's Sanchez. Back to Alvarado. Alvarado trying to cut. Alvarado whips one in. Quinones header! Great save by Kim Sung-yu at point-blank range. That's the best chance so far for Mexico. Was one of their heroes from last week's opener, Quinones. Clock approaches 20 minutes. Now here is Alvarez. Now Sanchez. Play is looks like we have a Mexican dressed up as a superhero over there in the stands. 20.5 minutes on the clock. Still looking for the first goal in this Group A clash. The top two teams in the group, the two winners from the first set of matches, Mexico and South Korea. Now South Korea with a throw in. Now Son Heung-min out there. %56 possession Mexico, 37% in for South Korea, 7% in contest. Now, what in contest means is for someone smarter than me to decide and for me to find out. Below the top, and Kim Sung-yu has it. A little bit of hurt here. Mentioned Mexico and South Korea. They twice have met in the World Cup. I mentioned the 2018. They also met in group play in the 98 World Cup in France. Mexico 3-1 winners on that day, with a goal from Ricardo Pelaz and 2 from Luis Hernandez. Carlos Vela and Javier Hernandez, the goal scorers of the 2-1 win against South Korea in Russia 8 years ago. Now it is time for the hydration break. Well, we've had a hydration. We're at the hydration break, and a half chance for Mexico, for South, couple of half chances, for many chances for South Korea, a real good chance for Mexico, but all in all, no goals. We want to use this time to remind you of what is coming up on our airwaves here, our USM airways, if you will. Of course, right now on a separate stream, you've got Game 4, the Calder Cup final between the Chicago Wolves and the Toronto Marlies. Someone will have to let me know if Game 5 tomorrow is happening regardless, or is there a sweep on hand here? Because if it's necessary, it will go to a Game 5, and that'll be on tomorrow night at 7. World Cup coverage, 2 matches tomorrow. We've mentioned the U.S. against Australia. We'll also have Scotland and Morocco from 6 Eastern. Saturday, 2 matches, 1 early and 1 late. 1 Eastern, the Netherlands against Sweden. And at midnight, Tunisia against Japan. Tentative, I should say, on that one. NASCAR is back Sunday at 3:30 Eastern with the Andrew 250 Race the Base at Coronado, the San Diego Coronado Naval Base. Much anticipated. Should be a fun watch. 3:30 on Sunday. Also on Sunday, we'll have Game 6 of the Calder Cup final if necessary, and then at 9, World Cup action with New Zealand and Egypt. Hope you'll join us for all that exciting action. As we continue our coverage, there is no off-season here. Ultimate Sports Media. So waiting to come out of this hydration break. Gonna try and get Matthew Owens on at halftime just because I'll be out of subject matters. Alrighty. Looks like we're out of the hydration break. Everybody complaining about the hydration break. I get it's not popular, but I understand. It's not my favorite either, but I really wish people would just stop complaining about it every single time. You've known for a year or two this was going to be the thing. Why are you surprised? We gotta be miserable and be worried about something. Here's the 35-year-old Kim Seung-gu with a goal kick. Now South Korea with it here. Mexico with it inside their own half. Now it's Edson Alvarez, the captain, age 28, plays for Fenerbahce in Turkey. Or Turkey, depending on how proper you want to feel. Here comes South Korea with the ball in their own half. They'll try to run forward with it. Lee Han-boom has it. Long ball over the top. Mexico defenders covering it. It goes back to the 26-year-old Guadalajara goal. Keeper Raul Rangel, also known as Tala Rangel. Twice winner of the Liga MX Save of the Month, July 2024 and October 2025. Was a part of Mexico's Gold Cup winning squad last year. And old Mexico need to be careful. Rangel gets there just before the onrushing South Korean attacker could finish it. That was a very, very hairy moment right there. Nearing the half-hour mark, 0-0 here. 3 shots for Mexico, none for South Korea. Pass completing, if you're into that kind of thing, 147 to 82 in favor of Mexico. Mexico trying to pass it out of the back. Of course, trying to represent CONCACAF. You know, deep down, there's a little bit of rivalry going on. Mexico, Canada, the United States. They want to go as far as they possibly can, but you know they want to finish ahead of the other players. Each team deep down like, hey, the tri-host, we got to finish better than the other two. That's what they're saying deep down. So all three were expected to at least have a shot to make the knockouts. All three looking pretty good for that. Canada, especially their goal difference after that impressive win today. Here's another chip. First touch, not a good one for South Korea. Second touch was almost non-existent. It was so bad. Lee Jae-sung was offside anyway. The midfielder who plays his football for Christian Malley's team, Mainz in Germany. "29 minutes. Mexico in their own, just inside their own half. Now Mexico trying to run forward again. A little chip over the top here, potentially. Let's play back to Alvarado. Now it's Luis Romo. Right, that's a long lifted ball. Tried to get it toward Jimenez, who couldn't get contact on it. Jimenez does chase it, though. Now it goes back to Alvarado. We've played half an hour. Still searching for the first goal in Guadalajara. Mexico 0, South Korea 0. South Korea again putting a lot of pressure on Rangel as Mexico back passed it to him. As Alvarado's there. This has been interesting to say the least. Mexico making their 9th straight World Cup appearance. South Korea, one of 5 countries to appear in each of the last 11 World Cups. Forward and flag up against So Young-woo. Son continuing to play on. The flag was up. I saw the flag up. I don't know why they let play continue on like this. Mexico and South Korea also played recently in a friendly September 9th last year in Nashville at the Geodis Park. It finished 2-2 with Santiago Jimenez scoring in the 4th minute of stoppage time. Quick little note about Gustavo Tejera, 38-year-old from Montevideo, Uruguay, who's been on FIFA's international referee list since 2018. In his day job, he is an insurance broker. 33rd minute. One ball from Ken, and we had a goal kick. Here's Alvarado down for Mexico on the right-hand side. Fourth minute. Romo and play has stopped again. Long free ball here. Mexico have it one more time. Perez. Trying to just pass it. Mexico trying to go forward again here. This is Alvarado. Now pass back to Romo. Now Alvarez in his own half. 35th minute. Now it's Alvarado. One ball being played again here. South Korea with it now. Kim Jae. So now South Korea now back in their own half. Now trying to push forward. Seoul with it. Sign. Now it's Lee Gi-hyuk. Now it's South Korea. Son with it. Thirty-seventh minute. Now it's South Korea again. Lee Ji-hyuk. Kim Min-jae. Now back to Kim Sung-yu. Play has really just slacked off a bit in the last few minutes. Really, ever since the hydration break, not a whole lot happening either way. I say that, now there's a foul, and South Korea with a player down. Son goes down there. Again, coming up at halftime. Hopefully, a little bit of fun from Matthew and some analyses on the day it's been. The World Cup, fourth of 4 matches here. So don't forget that he's going to just play it back. South Korea with it. South Korea looking to go forward. Do they have a chance maybe? Now they're going to stall the bus here. Just hang on to it in their own half and make sure Mexico doesn't steal it from them. Kim Min-jae. Good ball being played here. Here is So Young-woo. Now it's Kim Min-jae here for South Korea. Wave starts again inside the Estadio Akron. Not the Estadio Akron, that would be in Ohio. No zippy to be found anywhere. No turnover pencil either. This is not the Rubber Bowl. Here is Kim Min-jae. That's what their old stadium was. Their new one, of course, is Info Cision Stadium. Kim Min-jae. Just feel like both these teams are being really tentative. South Korea does not want to expose themselves and go forward, but they are holding on to it. Another ball on the right-hand side, but it's too far to the right. Son can't get there as it goes out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Mexico. In the 41st minute. Now South Korea rolling forward here. Good ball. Maybe. Here's a chance. Oh, that's a waste. That's a waste. It's So Young-woo knows it. Well, he's shown you why he's a defender who's never scored at international level, perhaps. 27-year-old who plays for Red Star Belgrade. Has scored 8 times in 61 appearances for them. He's been in the Serbian Superliga Team of the Season each of the last 2 seasons. Part of a Red Star Belgrade team that won the Serbian League again by 13 points. That won the opening round by 13, and they won the qualified to the championship round, I should say. Season's still in play, actually. It's not. Anyway, 42nd minute. They also won the championship round. They won by 10 points over Vojvodina in that Serbian league. Red Star also made it to the knockout stages of the Europa League. They lost to Lille in that competition, 2-1 on aggregate. He was a 2-time goal scorer this year, was sold for Belgrade. South Korea have it back. Here is Seoul again. Now it is Son. Now here is Ji-Yuk Lee. Son again. Now here is Youngwoo So. Now here comes South Korea. In the attacking half. Hwang In-boom with it. Now he just play a slow possession-based game. Here is Ji-Yuk Lee, and his long ball, his chip is not going to get to a purple shirt. Ryan Hale to save. Approaching 45 minutes. Figure there will probably be about 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half, if I were just guessing. Now South Korea coming forward again. Shot, and it's blocked. Still trying to come forward. South Korea. Now got another foul here, and Javier Aguirre is getting an explanation from the official. Now South Korea on the right-hand side for the foul. Good cross. Is there a touch? Oh, just wide it goes. They're getting there, and we get our answer 4 additional minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes at the end of this first half. About 35 seconds. First minute of stoppage time now in the books, as Alvarez will have the throw in here for Mexico. Ball play again. Now it's Vasquez, and Vasquez will pass it back. Again, Mexico inside their own half. Trying to lay it off. Now South Korea has it with So Young-woo. We've played 2 minutes, and now disagreement between Lira and Kang-in Lee. Referee not wanting to hear it. So now South Korea with the ball inside of their own half. Ji Lee for South Korea. On the long ball, off his head, out of bounds, and it will be a Mexico throw in. Into the final 45 seconds of stoppage time here at the end of this first half. Now over to Kim Seung-gyu. Wow, this might be the end of the first half of stoppage time. It's been an interesting first half. Again, a few decent chances, but the only clear chance, if you could call it that, was Mexico, where Quinones had a free header that was right at the keeper. Referee, is he going to blow? Yes, he blows for halftime. So we have played the first half in this Group A encounter. It is literally the definition of winner take all. You win, you're in the round of 32, and you win the group. The new head-to-head tiebreakers. But yet Mexico and Korea Republic, neither one could find that breakthrough goal in the opening half. Let's see if we can bring Matthew Owens in. If he can unmute his mic and bring him in for some halftime analyses. Earth to Big Mo. There we go.
From me?
Matthew Owens with us. And Matthew, first of all, appreciate you doing these under these not so desirable circumstances. But again, it is much appreciated. Secondly, your thoughts on the first 45 in Guadalajara.
You do get the feeling that of the two locker rooms, South Korea is probably the happiest. Just felt like, not only did it feel like they controlled the game, but it kind of felt like Mexico just allowed them to control the game. Interesting. It really is interesting. And obviously South Korea is a big step up of class from South Africa, but I'm a little bit surprised by the way Mexico has approached this game, because they were able to get their feet wet over 90 minutes against South Africa, feel it out. Tonight I thought they'd be more aggressive, and I haven't seen that from this team yet tonight. So I'm a little perplexed. I was not anticipating this kind of style from Mexico tonight.
Ready to go rapid fire, not rapid fire, go in depth on these World Cup matches. We've had 3 of them today. Let's ready to crank it up, partner.
All right.
How about the other match of this group? What a match it was in Atlanta between Czechia and South Africa. Czechia took the lead of the 6th minute through Sadalek, but then Tebo Mukena from the penalty spot of the 83rd minute. A big goal and a big point for Bafana Bafana. It finished honors even in Atlanta, where the drawers drew. Czechia won, South Africa won.
Yeah, it's obviously a very big result there to open up Group A. Take a look at Group A, the Group A standings on your screen. Czechia and South Africa, that point really opens up the group. Very dependent on what happens here in this match for sure, but that is it's obviously a very big result for both. And now they have it all to play for as we head towards what'll be next Wednesday for these Group A teams, I think it is. Yes, next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. So you got South Africa will play South Korea, Mexico will play Czechia. Um, Pretty much all up for grabs as we stand right now.
Indeed, that is the case. How about in Group B? Group B, it was route day in Group B. Let's start with a match that took place in Los Angeles, Switzerland, all over Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was goalless until the 74th minute when Johan Manzambi scored. He gave Switzerland the lead. 10 minutes later, Vargas scored to make it 2-0. Manzambi scored a third at stoppage time. Bosnia got one back at stoppage time through Mahamic, but then Granit Xhaka from the penalty spot scored at the 8th minute of added time. Bosnia also had a player sent off. Switzerland off the mark in this World Cup from a win perspective. They win by 4-1.
And honestly, Switzerland looking like the team, at least in the last 15 minutes, that they should have looked like against Qatar. And we'll talk about Qatar in a moment and why they should have looked like they did today against Qatar last Saturday in Santa Clara. So obviously it's taken a while for Switzerland to get into this World Cup. But now they are in it. And you know what you're going to get from Switzerland. You're going to get a very organized organized attack that pays attention to the very fine details. So it took them a while, obviously. What, about 165 minutes into this tournament? But they're here now, and you feel like that could be liftoff for them.
And as for Bosnia and Herzegovina, not great, Bob.
Yeah, they're really struggling to get a catalyst together to really lead this team and organize them. And again, you can see the standings on your screen, and we'll talk about the other game from the group and how it plays into it. Bosnia does have Qatar left, and you would favor them not only to win, but they need to do what Canada did to Qatar today to try to get into to try to bring that goal difference up for third place teams to advance.
That's a good segue. You had the game. Canada, 6 of the best. That's some way to first ever men's World Cup win. They win by a 0-0. They get a hat trick from Jonathan David, Larin Saliba, and an own goal from Mohamed Almani. And this is more like the Qatar, unfortunately for them, that showed up when they hosted this thing 4 years ago. They also had 2 sent off. Canada just was rampant.
Let's start with Canada. They blitzed them fast, early, often. That was Jesse Marsh's team put on a terrific performance. Let's also start with the 1-2 punch they have with Kyle Larin and Jonathan David is terrific. That is a terrific 1-2 punch that they have in their number 9 and their number 10. That could lead them far in this tournament if it all breaks their way. On the Qatar side of things, they punched so far above their weight in Northern California last Saturday against Switzerland, and you thought, okay, maybe that's an opening to really build their confidence and open the door for them to perform well over these next 2 games, even if they don't advance. They didn't stand a chance today. Canada were so dominant, like I said, early in that game. Never gave Qatar any sliver of hope. They didn't do what Switzerland did and keep it 1-0 for dozens of minutes at a time to keep giving Qatar hope. They made it 2-0 inside the half hour, and that really broke Qatar's spine. They had a red card within the first half as well. It's obviously a very poor performance. I think you look from a Switzerland side of things, if you're a fan, if you're a player on that team, you think, oh, we did ourselves no favors. I don't know how in the world we let the final score be 1-1 in that game. I don't know how they did that. Switzerland, I don't know, I kind of feel a lot worse about Switzerland after today, and they won 4-1. But I don't feel very good about Switzerland after today, and it has nothing to do with what they did on the field. Third part about this game, which was extremely sad to see, was the very careless challenge that led to that gruesome injury to Ismail Kone. Qatar were so outmatched, and part of it
No
was
place for it.
but yeah, and part of it was the speed differential. I really don't think I really don't think Asim Medaba meant anything by that, but he was so outmatched against Kone, and he just tries to make a tackle, and Kone's done for this World Cup. He won't play for Sassuolo at the start of the season. We're not going to speculate on injury because there are obviously many big bones in the leg, so I don't want to tell you what he broke. It's something broke, and I mean, it was supposed to be a really great day for Canada with a whole bunch of goals and a first ever World Cup match win on the men's side. And golly, in that moment, you could just feel everything go out the roof. And that was really sad. And I felt bad for Modebo because he showed such remorse. He didn't mean to do it, but that was kind of the story of the day. Those Qatari players didn't belong on the same field as those Canadians, and I mean, by the time he tries to make the challenge, Kone is made 2 or 3 steps beyond where he was, and then the collision was really bad.
By the way, I can't see. Are the group standings still up on the screen?
Yes.
So you see on your screen now, Switzerland and Canada even on 4 points. Bosnia, Herzegovina, Qatar with 1 point each. Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, Qatar. Those will be the matches on the final set of matches in the group. How about tomorrow, Matthew? Pretty big day of action. Starts at 3 Eastern. We'll have it for you from Seattle. The United States against Australia, just like this game, it's winner take all. You win, and well, you're into the round of 32,
Yeah.
and it's a big game.
Yeah, and Australia was somehow the underdog against Turkey. I didn't get that, but they were. And they'll be the underdog here as well. No one's going to be talking about them. It's all going to be about the U.S., how they perform after the big performance against Paraguay last week. It's going to be about the U.S. trying to continue this great run and stay top of the group. And then, of course, if that happens, everyone here is going to be just football fever. Australia wants to spoil that, and they have a team that can. And we'll see what that matchup looks like tomorrow. But the atmosphere is going to be really good. High noon in Seattle tomorrow for this one. And it's I do think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think it is going to be a very competitive game. We'll see if it lives up to the hype. Maybe some rain in the forecast, too. It is Seattle in the summer.
No!
Maybe some rain in the forecast to maybe muck it up, too.
I was going to say, they drink a lot of coffee in Seattle, so I don't have to worry about being amped up for a noon start.
No.
That should be an absolutely excellent match between these United States of America and Australia. That's in Group D. Then at 6 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow night, the action shifts to Group C, and the Tartan Army's invasion of Boston continues. It's becoming so popular that apparently Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman are going to be a part of that Tartan Army tomorrow for Fox. Scotland and Morocco. Scotland got a big win for Scotland. Huge win. I mean, in terms of, their return to the World Cup, they got the goal, they got the win. The Tartan Army, everybody loves them, but time for reality check, Matthew. They're going to have to play a heck of a lot better if they're going to beat Morocco.
Yep. They pockets of play against Haiti where they were the second best team on the field in Foxborough, and a lot of people are going to look at them being the second best team on the field tomorrow, you would think, with what Morocco did in the last World Cup and what they did against Brazil last Saturday in New Jersey. Played a really strong match to a 1-1 draw against Brazil. So, yeah, Scotland are the decided underdogs tomorrow. We'll see what comes of that match, but could be very interesting. Once again, in Foxborough. So they haven't had to go anywhere. They've stayed right there in the New England area. They watched the game last Saturday night. Then they went to Fenway. They drank Boston out of alcohol, by the sounds of it, and now they're right back in Foxborough tomorrow. We'll see. Draw would be great for Scotland.
Morocco, the decided favorite in that particular match. That's the second one tomorrow. The third game tomorrow night at 8:30, the other Group C match, it is in Philadelphia, and it's Brazil against Haiti. And if Brazil doesn't look any better against Haiti, then there will be a national inquest.
Yeah, there's already just a lot of national nervousness about this Brazil team. The public in Brazil don't really get the sense that this is the normal high-flying attacking team with weapons that scare everybody. Really, their biggest weapons come defensively and with those pair of center backs. So it's not what they don't. They want samba soccer down there in Brazil, and they haven't gotten it yet.
And then real quickly, the final match tomorrow, 11 Eastern, Turkey and Paraguay. The other match in the U.S. group, that's in the Bay Area.
Yeah, we'll see. Turkey has to play better. And for that matter, Paraguay does too.
Your thoughts on the second half of this game?
See if Mexico just turns up the aggression. I thought they just allowed South Korea to do whatever they wanted in that first half. Obviously didn't give up a goal, but I need to see Mexico be more aggressive at home.
All right, Matthew, we'll get some quick thoughts post-match after the game. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right, second half underway here between Mexico and Korea Republic. Mexico going from right to left as you listed in the black uniforms. South Korea going left to right. They'll be in the purple uniforms. Here's Quinones. Gives it to Alvarado. No changes made by either team out of the locker room at halftime. Gutierrez tried to feed it to Romo, and Romo loses it. Now here is South Korea with Kim Min-jae. And now ball right here. Now it's Lee Han Boom. Again, not a whole lot of chances either way. That weak point blank header from Quinones is really the only chance of note on either side that you would look at and say that could have been a goal. And as things stand, these two teams would be level on points heading into their final matches. Mexico will play Czechia on the last match day, with South Korea playing South Africa. Now it's Vasquez. Lira. South Korea keeping their 3-4-3. Sung-yu in goal. Gyuk, Min-jae, and Han-boom in the back. Young-woo, In-boom, Sung-ho, Moon-won in the attack. Jae-sung, Huang-min, Kang-in, the three attackers. That's the lineup. We must have missed the Mexico one. Shows what I was doing. Rangel, Sanchez, Alvarez, Vasquez, Gallardo, Lira, Romo, Gutierrez, Jimenez, Quinones, Alvarado, the 11 for Javier Aguirre's men, staying that way. Trying to play the ball through, but couldn't. Good interception. And now South Korea with the possibility to run here. Well, they had numbers briefly, and now it's slowed down just a little bit. Now it's Kim Moon-won. And no team can be eliminated tonight. The winner of this game, though, will win the group, and therefore advance to the round of 32. Over the top, ball picked up there by Rangel. Set 48th minute. Now Mexico running through South Korea, a bit of a sleep at the wheel. Angle was tight. And it's the side netting from Gallardo. Jesus Gallardo, the 31-year-old who plays his club ball for Toluca. As a left back, he scored 9 times for Toluca. The side netting there. Gallardo has scored 3 times for Mexico, most recently in February in a 3-0 friendly win against Iceland. Now it's Alvarado playing it for Quinones, and that was a heavy touch. Took a bad touch off of Quinones, and out of play it goes. But a very encouraging start to the second half for Mexico. As they try to get the 3 points here on home soil. There's a header down. It's going to be kept in by Lira. Lira now over to Quinones. Quinones looking for the cross. Quinones towards Jimenez. Ball still floating up. Whoa, fumble, chance, goal! Disaster for South Korea! Luis Romo! Beer showers for everyone in Guadalajara! 1-0 Mexico! Oh my goodness! Kim Sung-kyu tried to go for it. He was trying to go to the top of 2 of his teammates. He couldn't secure the ball. Goal number 5 on international ill for Luis Romo. None more important or easier. Oh my goodness, that's... Fender's got to get out of the way there. Now maybe he doesn't have enough time to do that, but he's just got to get out of the way. And Luis Romo, the national hero, the toast of Guadalajara, just had a birthday 13 days ago. Just call this a belated birthday gift he got. And Mexico lead now by a 1-0. Mexico trying to regroup it here. They lead 1-0. How can South Korea respond? Gallardo heading it forward, and now Mexico playing with their tails up a little bit here. That's a good touch. Flag up though, foul. So now Mexico, as it stands, would go through as group winners. And you see on your screen there, update, the Wolves did win tonight in the Calder Cup, so we will have a Game 5 tomorrow, 7 p.m. with Jared Krubel right here on Ultimate Sports Media. Just so happened to see that. South Korea down by a 0-0. Now they've got to get on the front foot here. or else it's going to be trouble. Lee Han Boom playing it back towards Kim Sung-gyu. Goes all the way, goes lose everybody, and eventually lands the feet of Rangel. And Mexico fans, as you would imagine, are loving life at the present time. So now, here comes South Korea. Trying to play forward, but again, it goes over to Rangel. Mexico fans happy yet again. Comes him looking to pass through. South Korea being patient with it, being very patient, I would say. Now here comes South Korea. This is better. Here's Son, and Son taking too many touches, trying to lay it off, and a waste as Mexico get it clear to safety. Oh, that was a big chance, and it was wasted by the team from Asia. '56th minute, So Young-woo with a throw in. Ball here being played. Referee blows here. 56 minutes on the clock. 1-0 lead. Still 1-0. Set these with you here to Luis Romo goal, giving Mexico a 1-0 lead. So we got a stoppage here as Son went down. Quinones was in a bit of a mess with him. And so we're going to have our first change here. And who's going to make the change? It's going to be a double change for Korea Republic. Lee Jae-sung is off, as is Son Heung-min. So those two are off. We'll get you the numbers of who is coming off. Wang Yi-chan is one of them. Wang Yi-chan, the other is Oh Hyun-gyu. Oh, Hyun-gyu is on. Wang Yi-chan, of course, just suffering a relegation for the Premier League with Wolves. Oh Hyun-gyu, who plays his club football in Turkey for Besiktas. First two rolls of the dice have come from South Korea, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Rangel here. Maybe a chance, a shot from distance, and it's blocked. In Boom went for the shot blocked. Mexico dispossessed, no, foul. And a yellow card as well for South Korea, and this is going to go on Pike Sung-yu. Swing Hoop 8, the Birmingham City man. Gutierrez, the man who went down. Gutierrez, a little slow to get up, I'd say. So here is the goal kick, free kick, and now here is Lee. South Korea with it in the attacking half. We're near an hour gone. They're down 1-0. Now Wang Yi-chan. Now trying to pass it back. Mexico, by the way, this is the 25th time that they have scored. 23rd time they scored first in a World Cup match. They've won 15 of those games. They've lost 5 and drew 3. So this is actually the 24th time they scored first. You have 2 South Korea players down. And the referee is going to, stop play. Javier Aguirre has the audacity, has the temerity to suggest why you're stopping play. Well, Javier, there's 2 men down. South Korea is knocked overjoyed. They are incredulous as Hwang Hee-chan gives it up. Now a foul on another late offside. I'm getting tired of these late offs. I know you've heard me complain about this before, but this isn't a show for you, Mr. Linesman dude. If it's offside, wave the effing offside flag, okay? For God's sake, man. You're like those football referees, those NFL college football referees that throw the flag 20 seconds late, whether it's a foul or not. Might have been a foul, but don't throw it 20 seconds late for dramatic effect. This is not NCIS. This is a sporting event. Down goes a South Korea player. It's being helped up, trying to get helped up is Youngwoo Seol. The man who had that half a chance earlier for South Korea and could not connect. Oh, Lord. Just a reminder that there is still a non-zero chance I'm on Tunisia and Japan at midnight, early Saturday night into Sunday morning. You think this is crazy? I could really get off the rails. Wang Hee-chan. Kim Min-jae. Kim Min-jae again. South Korea inside their own half. Here is Lee Han-boom. Chip left side. This is Han-Boom Lee, and he could not keep it in. And look of frustration on his face. Though not a fan of that South Korea, on the face of that South Korea fan they just showed. There's definitely not frustration on with the Mexican fans. They're singing, partying, having a good old time, and why not? Their team has a 1-0 lead in the 64th minute, getting close to that second hydration break, which will probably be a hydration break at Studio G as well. '64th minute. '65th minute. Boom looking after it. Now it's Mexico with possession. Here is Gallardo. Now back to Alvarez. Sanchez. And Luis Romo's goal providing the difference. 1-0 Mexico. Rangel up the pitch. Alvarez. Lay off and a heavy touch. Out of play. Throw in Korea Republic. This is So Young Woo. Bad drag, and now here's Quinones, and Mexico have a chance to run. Here comes Quinones, and needs a little bit of help. Tries to get it, pass deflected on the way through. Cleared away. Only as far back though as Vasquez, although he is in his own half. Vasquez. Back as Vasquez is in there, and South Korea win possession. They got a chance left hand side. Let's see if they can actually do anything with it. Cross, the best cross in the world. Now a pass. You in there. Oh. No, South Korea with it again. Lee in there. Lee Ji-Yuk. South Korea again. Sung Yu Paik. Now we hit the hydration break, and we'll step aside for a brief moment. We'll be back in a split second. This is the World Cup on Ultimate Sports Media. Enjoy some. want to say Mbappe, but don't hold me to it. All right, and back we are. Middle of a hydration break. So I brought my own hydration. No, not Sprite with tea. That's a Matthew Owens thing. I want to be like him when I grow up in so many ways, Matthew, but that's one thing I don't want to be like is not a tea person. So I'm not going to copy him like that.
It's right next to me. It's just to my left.
No, there you go. Okay. You do have the Sprite with tea. I got you. A reminder that if Sprite, the Coca-Cola bottle, couldn't want to give us any of their money, we would be most appreciative.
It's absolutely right. Got the line in. Thank you.
Coca-Cola, of course, is a official World Cup sponsor. All the more reason why to support them over that other brand.
So if we were playing at the Coca-Cola Coliseum like they were tonight in Game 4 of the Calder Cup final, they could have kept their stadium name. By the way, Game 4 of the Calder Cup final, Chicago in overtime. Game 5 coming up a couple of days.
Thank you.
And
thank you
there
very
are
much.
many reasons why we are very happy Chicago won, but that won't go over on air.
Remind me to ask you about that when we get off the air. A very abridged version of Seth and Matthew's podcast that is not a podcast. Kim Seung-yu. His team needs to step it up. 20 more minutes. We're going to have two changes for Mexico here. As coming on will be 17 and 18. That's Orbelin Pineda and Obed Vargas. And I think the goal scorer, Luis Romo, is one of the two that's been subbed off here. And, oh, man, I didn't see who the other ones were that got subbed. I didn't see the other one. Dadgummit. Oh, now South Korea spurned a late change. Put a late change on us, too. As Ji-sung. Oh, and now they do another one. Oh, that's great. Yang Huin-jin. This is where somebody needs to step up and say, oh, you had your chance to get a substitution. Wait till the next dead ball. All right. Yin Yang Twins. Yang Huin-jin. Yin Yang Twins were a rap group before anybody says anything. Here's Yong Ji-sung. Ji-sung-un. Moonwon and Youngwoo are off, so Kim and Sol off. We need to get that other Mexican player that got subbed off. We'll try to get that through. There's also more biographies and life stories, Bill Weberisms I need to do. Orbelin Pineda plays for AEK Athens. Turned 30 in March. Scored 12 times for Mexico at international level. Most recent came in June of 2025 in a 1-0 friendly win against Turkey that was played in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Obed Vargas, who was born in these United States, or those United States, since we're playing in Mexico. He plays for Atletico Madrid. He's from Anchorage, Alaska. 20 years old. He is of Mexican descent. His father played for the Youth Academy of Monarcas Morelia, one of the top clubs in Mexico. A 2025 MLS All-Star. The two South Korean players, Yang Won-jin plays for Celtic. 14 goal scorer. Part of a real big Asian influx over the last 15 to 20 years at that club. Winning another Scottish Premiership title. He's won 3 of them. He's also won 2 Scottish Cups. Scored Celtic's goal of the year for this season. It's always nice to win that award. Here's Quinones. Goal he scored against rival Rangers. Gallardo foul there on Yang there. The other man coming on, Ji Sung-yoon, plays for Swansea City in the EFL Championship. He scored 5 times for the Swans. He has scored twice for South Korea, most recently in October of 2025 in a friendly win against Paraguay. So here comes Mexico. Good move. Gallardo. Gallardo loses out. In the 74th minute. I'm going to look up who that other Mexican sub was. There's a reason why I have to know that because of my sheet. And it was Gutierrez who came off. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Good. Thank you, Internet. Thank you, score. Now Mexico run forward again. Lob Quinones left side. He's not going to be able to get there. He thought he was, but he didn't. So Mexico with 3 subs left. Korea Republic with 1. And we're in the 75th minute. Is there going to be a grandstand finish here? Will it be a 1-0 win? Or will it be a win for Mexico that will secure passage to the round of 32? Here's Quinones. Good ball. First touch. Is there a good second touch? Jimenez. Kim makes the save. Well, Raul Jimenez was in position to be a hero again. Kim Sung-yu said, not on my watch. So now play's gone. Hard to believe. Raul Jimenez has been at this a while. That was his first career World Cup goal for Mexico. He scored in that opener against South Korea. He tied the great Jared Borghetti on second on Mexico's all-time goal-scoring list with 46. Here's a chance for South Korea! Oh, and the cross was there. Now, push from behind with Son of the far end, and the referee has stopped play. Oh, that looked like the Paul Gascoigne miss from Euro 96. Just begging for a touch, that delivery for South Korea. And did not get it. Well, he's onside here on the original play. Yang again, Yang providing the cross, and Hyun-Yu with a chance, and South Korea wanted the penalty. But Hong Myung-bo, I can hear a bunch of CONCACAF fans telling Hong Myung-bo, well, Hongy baby, you don't get that call here. I think South Korea just made their final substitution here. They have Ji Sung-cho, plays for Midtjylland in Denmark. He replaced Sung-Hoo Paik. And it'll be 77th minute here is Gallardo. Quinones. South Korea win it back. South Korea have got to go forward here. Quinones laying it off here. Gallardo. Now it's Gallardo trying to play it towards Jimenez. Good defense there by South Korea. One more time. Now a chance to potentially break. They've got numbers. Trying to cut to his left. Now another shot from distance and into about the third row. A shot there from Kang In Lee, and that fan caught the ball, and he's having the time of his life. As the PSG man couldn't connect. there like he has for PSG 12 times in his career. 2 Champions League winners' medals. I'm sure Matthew is really getting a kick out of the commentary that I am providing. If he is, I'm glad someone is. See, he can't speak to me because if he speaks to me, he goes over the air. He's so bad he wants to get in my ear and say, "You idiot! Thank you." Like about to hit 79 minutes. I love Matthew. He's a godsend. Wonder what his 3 essentials of living are. As he kissed his ostrich today, Quinones trying to get it back. Mexico 7 attempts at goal. South Korea with 4. 3 attempts for Mexico on target and none for South Korea. Mexico do have another sub set to come on, and that would be Santiago Jimenez, the man who plays for AC Milan. Also set to come on is Israel Reyes, who plays for one of the big clubs in Mexico, Club America. And indeed, let's see who comes off. Raul Jimenez will not get a chance to score again tonight. His race has been run to make way for Santiago Jimenez. And who else is coming off? The number comes on the board for number 25, Roberto Alvarado. Final 10 minutes plus stoppage time. Luis Romo's goal, the difference. Mexico leading by a 0-0. Through with Quinones. Gives up. Oh, chance. Maybe? No. Mexico have the spaces covered. Still 1-0 lead for El Tri in their black uniforms. Now Mexico trying to get the ball over the top. Menez chases, can't get there. We are in the 82nd minute. Looking there. Oh, trying to get it cleared wide back. 81 and a half on the clock. On the 82nd minute. .82 on the clock, and now trying to get towards Alvarez, and Alvarez trying to get it cleared, but couldn't. South Korea have the ball one more time. Is there to be a twist in the tail yet? Here's Lee Hanboom. And now Quinones wins it back. Quinones. Now to Pineda. South Korea not had a single shot on target tonight. And they're running out of time to do that. Or score a goal, even. Sanchez goes down. Look, he's hurt his ear. Jorge Sanchez, the defender who plays for the Greek club PAOK. Jumping up for that was Ji Sung-yoon. 84th minute. And I think Mexico are going to make their final substitution with the Anderlecht forward Cesar Huerta replacing Julian Quinones. Oh, there we go. Penn still has a little bit of working left. So Huerta coming on. Again, he plays for the Belgian club Anderlecht. Has scored 3 goals for Mexico at international level. His last was on October 2024 in a friendly against the United States in this very stadium, the Estadio Akron. Chase for Packett. It goes to Rangel. 85th minute. You would have to suspect there will probably be about 5 minutes of stoppage time. That would be my guess. 4 or 5. Now trying to play out. Jimenez gets a touch on it. And it's Mexico with possession in the attacking half. Chip ball over here. Can he get it towards Pineda? There's a shot from distance and it's saved. And he kept it in too, did Sung-Yu Kim. Good stop, and then good job keeping it out there. A stinging hit by Vargas. South Korea trying to push it forward one more time. Wang in. Don't get in the middle. Can he get there? No, he can't. Mexico. Spin. Oh, good spin by Pineda. Pineda away. And then it ricochets off the foot of a South Korean man all the way back to Kim Sung-yu. Mexico, as it stands, are going to go through as group winners on 6 points. South Korea will have 3 heading into their match against South Africa, who are going to be level on points with Czechia, 1 point each. And again, Mexico will have nothing to worry about. They'll be one of the few teams to play a stress-free match at this World Cup if this holds. They know they're going to win the group. They'll be, of course, in the round of 32. So South Korea now trying to get passes strung together. This patient stuff was fine early, but they have got to show some urgency here. Time becoming very much an issue. Now cutting left. Here's a cross. Here's a header! Rebound flipped off the line. Did it cross? Saved! What a chance from Ji Sung-cho! Bodies all over the place. Rangel still down. He made the save, but he sure paid the price for it. What an incredible sequence! Oh, how's he kept that out? Vasquez nearly with a fumbling move like the South Korean defender in the Mexico goal. This is some stinking sequence here, Vern. I'll tell you right now. It's a good cross. Can't ask for better opportunity if you're Yi Sung-cho. Could not handle it. They're still dealing with Rangel here. My gosh. Now play resumes. Long kick. Again tomorrow, U.S. and Australia. Then Scotland and Morocco. '89th minute, about to hit the 90th. Now we're probably going to have to add a couple of more minutes of stoppage time. Thought it would be about 4 or 5. Now you're looking for about 6 or 7, and no, I'm not going to do the meme for you. Clock about to hit 90. $6 minutes, the answer to the question of how much stoppage time. 6 minutes. For Mexico to find a second, or for Korea Republic to find an equalizer. 6 more dramatic minutes you could bet on the way. Huerta loses possession. And Boom Lee with a throw in. Ball played here. Jump. Now Ji Sung Yoon with it. Now it's Ji Sung Yoon for South Korea. Ji Sung Yoon cross. Did that take a deflection on the way through? I believe it did. It's going to be a South Korea corner. So South Korea in the 92nd minute now with a corner. Can they capitalize on it? The first corner of the match for either team. Here's the delivery. The header! Wide of the mark. Wide of the mark from Lee Han Boom. Boom did not go the dynamite for the Michelin man. Actually, I don't even know if he got his head to it. I think he's hurt his back in the process, and he's limping. He's going to try to tough it out the last 4 minutes. South Korea don't have a substitute, so if he were to cut off, they'd be down to 10 men. Mexico couldn't do anything on a long ball. South Korea have won it back off a free kick. We played 2.5 of the 6 minutes. Peck with a touch, and Mexico there. Sanchez, who's played the whole way, put in a good shift. Now Kim Min Jae. Now it goes to Lee Han Boom. Halfway through. Could South Korea find something? Here's a cross. Here's a header. It's wide. Lee Ji-yu. No, it was Ji Sung Cho again. I think it was deflected, though. It's going to be a corner kick for South Korea. Who got there to defend there? That was Vasquez. Yeah. Almost got the hand there. Did Johan Vasquez. Here's the South Korea corner. The referee trying to sort out all the argy-bargy in the area. The corner. Heads go up. And no real danger there. Anywhere will do for Mexico. Well out of play. South Korea will have to throw in from their own half with 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Mexico nearly to the round of 32. Gives it back to Kim. Long kick. Now it's a good possession. South Korea trying to play the ball through towards Wang and didn't go. Nearing the final minute. Lee Han-boom with it. A chip forward now into the attacking half, South Korea. It's now or never. Yang Hyun-jun. For a throw. 50 seconds left. You got to have a law. This is where you wish you had a Josh Allen or a Joe Milton type with a rocket arm to launch into that penalty area and hope all chaos breaks loose. Here goes Yoon. Long throw. Knotted down and headed away by Pineda. Long chip in. Rangel punches. And now Mexico the chance to break here on the counterattack. Big opportunity here, and South Korea just enough people back. Kim can't keep it in, though, or didn't know he couldn't. It's going to be a corner, and that should do it. Vargas. Couldn't keep it in. They're not even going to take the corner. The referee is blown for full time. Mexico are the first team to advance to the round of 32 in this year's World Cup, and there will be a party throughout the night in Guadalajara. Luis Romo's goal, 5 minutes after the restart, sets off a night full of beer showers in Guadalajara as Mexico are the Group A winners. They've beaten South Korea tonight by 1-0 and are through to the round of 32. See if we can bring Matthew Owens in for one more bit of analysis. Matthew, the Mexicans are through. It wasn't pretty, but there's no such thing as style points here.
That's a good thing because they didn't get them. But yes, they've won a game in which they were not particularly great in, and you've got to win games like that at times. So good for Mexico, good for the Mexico fans, and good for the hosts. If they want to make a deep run at this, they've got to play better than that. But again, you've also got to be able to win games when you're not at their best. They were not tonight, and they've still won.
Thoughts on the rest of this group, the 3 teams going for the one more automatic spot and perhaps one more third-place spot. Yeah, Mexico will be playing against Czechia, and South Korea will play South Africa.
Yeah, and I think it's awfully interesting how the rest of this plays out. And, again, this is what happens when you allow third-place teams to move through, but only some of them. So we're not going to know until all of the final group games are done what goes through, so no one can really have that clear of a path going to these final games. All you know is that Czechia and South Africa they've got to finish ahead of the other, but they don't play each other. So Czechia's got to go all out against Mexico. South Africa's got to go all out against South Korea. South Korea's got to make sure not to lose to South Africa for them to fall out of second. We'll see. I'm still not crazy about this setup.
All right, well, that will put a bow on another day at the World Cup. Full time here. Mexico 1, South Korea 0. Big thank you to Matthew Owens for your help, for everyone else, for JT, and for everyone else here at Ultimate Sports Media. I'm Seth Eves. So long and good night. Speed's loving it, and so the Mexican fans. Beer showers and tequila shots for everybody.